So there are certain perspectives that I feel are empowering. They help to provide energy, they help to have you in the right mindset to enjoy life, to have a good relationship with God, have a good relationship with other people, a good relationship with yourself. These are all these are all like mindsets and perspectives that you can cultivate and that you can have, and they can make your life a lot better, I believe. If you're, in other words, the way you think and the results you get in life are going to be very correlated. Okay, now they're not maybe a one-to-one correlation, but they're going to be very much connected. If I'm the sort of person who's very positive and I believe in the effectiveness of what I do, I'm going to tend to attract other people who also like to be around positive people, who have positive mindsets themselves, and who believe in the effectiveness of what they do. And so, the ability to cultivate, I think this is one thing I feel like I've not fully dialed in for myself, which is this ability to cultivate the perspectives that I want to have, the empowering, the gratefulness for my current life and all the good things in it, the anticipation for the good things to come, the how I see my relationship with God and myself and the world and business, and there's just various things that I feel like I get glimpses, or for a moment I have these insights, or I have these perspectives that are really empowering and really good, and yet I don't feel like I stay in those all the time. I feel like there's often, it's kind of easy to kind of sag into kind of a default based on your environment, and I think it kind of raises a question, right? Like, where does your default perspective come from, and how do you? Is it worth the effort to cultivate a perspective that's not your default, and how do you do that effectively? So I do think that would like to do better at cultivating a more empowered perspective. Which the word empowered, I feel like it's got baggage by now. It's like, are we talking about like women or minorities or something? If we're using that word, neither of which I am. Is this some sort of woke DEI something or another? No, that's not what I'm talking about with an empowered. I'm talking about a perspective that makes it easy for me to take action and to enjoy life, and a perspective that lends itself to a confidence that allows me to enjoy life and take action. So, I guess that's how I would kind of distill the idea. The empowered perspective is one that allows you to makes it easy to take action and enjoy life. So, I suspect that our default perspective has a lot to do with our brain chemistry, our spiritual underpinnings. A lot of the things that are kind of below the surface. I have a hunch that how you, and even physically, how you feel physically, I expect has a big impact on your on your perspective, and not so directly. Not like you wake up in the morning and you think, okay, I have a headache, therefore, I believe that everything in the world is bad. I will never succeed, and I may as well give up and go eat ice cream. Like, I don't think, that's not consciously how we normally process these things. But if you have a headache every morning when you wake up, pretty soon you might not look forward to waking up anymore. Maybe you're going to, anyway, I think that when there's a drag of some type, whether it's spiritual, emotional, physical, whatever it is, I think it's going to tend, that essentially becomes the environment in which your mindset is existing, and it's going to tend to shape your mindset into like kind of mold it, or it's going to be it's going to tend to be to kind of shape your mindset, and then that mindset is going to tend to be your default mindset that you're going to have unless you actively cultivate a different one. So I don't know for sure what the right approach there is. The Bible talks about renewing your mind, so that would be some evidence in favor of the idea that your mind can be improved through this process of renewal. And so, what all the most effective ways are, I'm sure it's highly individualized as to how to kind of reach your peak mindset, your peak state. And maybe you could argue, well, don't worry about state, just get stuff done, and you'll get there. You'll get to where you're going. You just get stuff done. Well, maybe, but it's hard to get stuff done when you're in a bad mindset. Number one. Number two, let's say you do have the self-discipline, even if you don't have any happiness in your life. You get to where you're going eventually, maybe through this discipline. But did you have any fun in the meantime? Did your family enjoy being around you? Do you have any relationships when you get to where you were going? And at the end of life, when you achieved all these things, do you find that you did not achieve other things? Like, in other words, yeah, you got the money, or you had the impact, or you started the ministry, but did your family still close to you? Are you a friend of God still at this point? Are you, do you still have integrity in the moral areas of your life, the hidden parts of your life? All of these things that are potentially at risk when you're going through the motions to get to a certain point, but your heart's not engaged, you're not connected. So, I think that can be a challenge, to have your heart connected to your work. Maybe that's a topic for a separate video.